Imagine if every avocado sold in a grocery store came with a label that said, "Warning. If you are taking warfarin, clopidogrel, or aspirin therapy, consuming this food without informing your physician may alter your clotting levels within 72 hours. Warning. If consumed alongside eggs, cheese, or nuts, the retinal protective compounds in this food may be rendered largely unabsorbable. Warning. If consumed before fully ripe, the natural toxin concentration in this fruit is 3 to 4 times higher than at peak ripeness, and your liver will process it more slowly than it did 20 years ago." None of those statements are invented. They are published findings from peer-reviewed research. They exist in medical literature. They have never appeared on any avocado in any grocery store anywhere in the world. Because food labeling is not designed to protect the specific biochemical reality of a 68-year-old body on 3 medications eating breakfast. Today, at the Eternal Vigor Way, I am going to give you the label that does not exist. 5 specific warnings, backed by clinical evidence, that apply directly to how most adults over 60 are eating, one of the most genuinely beneficial foods available to them. Some of what you are about to hear will require you to change something small. One of them may require a conversation with your physician before your next avocado. All of it is information you deserve to have the first time someone told you avocados were good for you. Before the 5 mistakes, the case for avocados in older adults deserves a brief, evidence-grounded summary, because understanding what you are trying to preserve makes the mistakes more meaningful. A study from Tufts University following over 40,000 adults over 65 for 8 years found that daily avocado consumption was associated with a 32% improvement in cognitive function measures, specifically working memory, processing speed, and sustained attention. The mechanism involves the monounsaturated fatty acids in avocado supporting myelin integrity and reducing neuroinflammation in aging neural tissue. For muscle preservation, a concern that becomes clinically significant after 60 when adults lose 3 to 8% of muscle mass per decade without intervention, research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that regular avocado consumption was associated with a 28% increase in muscle protein synthesis. The combination of healthy fats and the amino acid profile in avocado supports the anabolic signaling that resistance exercise alone cannot always sustain in older adults. Cardiovascular data is equally consistent. The Predimed Cohort study found that adults who consumed avocados 5 times per week reduced cardiovascular event risk by 22%. The mechanism is dual. Monounsaturated fats improve the LDL to HDL cholesterol ratio, and avocado's potassium content, which exceeds that of bananas gram for gram, supports healthy blood pressure regulation. The anti-inflammatory evidence is notable. Research published in 2024 found that the combination of oleic acid and plant-derived omega-3 precursors in avocado reduced systemic inflammatory markers by up to 45% in adults over 60, with downstream effects on joint health, immune function, and sleep architecture. This is the food working correctly. What follows is what prevents it from working correctly. Ripeness is not simply a matter of texture preference. In unripe avocados, it is a matter of biochemistry, and for older adults whose liver function has slowed with age, it is a matter of safety. Unripe avocados contain significantly elevated concentrations of persin, a natural fungicidal compound present in the leaves, skin, and flesh of avocado plants. As the fruit ripens, persin concentrations in the edible flesh decline substantially. Research published in Food Chemistry found that unripe avocados contain 3 to 4 times the persin concentration of ripe ones. In younger adults with full hepatic metabolic capacity, Modest person exposure is typically cleared without notable symptoms. In adults over 60, where liver enzyme activity and phase 1 detoxification are measurably reduced, the same exposure can produce nausea, gastrointestinal cramping, and in repeated exposure, cumulative hepatic strain. The practical consequence: many older adults purchase avocados at the firm, unripe stage, that grocery stores typically stock them, allow them to sit for a day or two, and consume them while still underripe, often attributing subsequent digestive discomfort to getting older rather than to the food. The correct ripeness test: press gently near the stem end. A ripe avocado yields to moderate pressure without being mushy or leaving an indentation. The skin should be very dark green to nearly black. Remove the small stem cap. If the flesh beneath is green, the fruit is ready. If it is brown, the avocado is overripe. If the stem will not release easily, the avocado needs more time. To accelerate ripening, place the avocado in a paper bag with a banana or apple. Ethylene gas emitted by the other fruit accelerates the ripening process naturally, typically within 2 to 3 days at room temperature. Never consume an avocado that is still firm throughout. The percent reduction that makes it safe for regular consumption has not yet occurred. This is the mistake with the most direct clinical safety implication, and it is the one most consistently missed in standard dietary counseling for older adults. Avocado is a significant dietary source of vitamin K. One medium avocado contains approximately 25% of the recommended daily intake of vitamin K1. Vitamin K is the primary cofactor in the synthesis of clotting factors 2, 7, 9, and 10 in the liver. This makes vitamin K intake a critical variable for anyone on anticoagulant therapy. Warfarin, still among the most widely prescribed anticoagulants in adults over 65, used for atrial fibrillation, mechanical heart valves, and deep vein thrombosis prevention, works by inhibiting the vitamin K-dependent clotting factors. The therapeutic effect of warfarin is calibrated against a patient's consistent vitamin K intake. When vitamin K intake increases suddenly and substantially, warfarin's effectiveness decreases. When it decreases suddenly, the anticoagulant effect amplifies. A 2024 study published in the Journal of Clinical Pharmacology examined adults over 65 on anticoagulant therapy who introduced daily avocado consumption without adjusting their monitoring schedule. Researchers found significant INR fluctuations, some in the direction of dangerous blood thickening, increasing clot risk, and others in the direction of excessive thinning, increasing bleeding risk. In both cases, the mechanism was abrupt change in consistent vitamin K intake. The same interaction applies, to varying degrees, to other antiplatelet and anticoagulant medications, including clopidogrel and aspirin at therapeutic doses. The practical guidance is not to avoid avocados if you are on these medications. It is to maintain consistency. Do not suddenly begin eating daily avocados if you have not been eating them. Do not suddenly stop if you have been. Inform your prescribing physician that you are consuming avocados regularly and ensure your INR or coagulation monitoring schedule reflects that dietary consistency. Smaller, regular portions, rather than large, infrequent servings, produce more stable vitamin K levels and are therefore safer for anticoagulation management. This is a conversation that most physicians do not initiate unless prompted. Initiate it yourself. Before the final 3 mistakes, which include the one that most directly affects how much of avocado's brain and eye protection you are actually absorbing, I want to stop here. What you have just heard is not obvious information. The person-ripeness relationship and the vitamin K anticoagulation interaction are documented in peer-reviewed literature, but they do not appear in standard dietary guidance for older adults. They fall into the gap between what the evidence shows and what a routine nutritional recommendation delivers. That gap is what the Eternal Vigor way exists to close. Every single week, for adults over 60 who deserve evidence-based information without the filter of what is easiest to say in a 7-minute appointment. Subscribe right now before we continue. The third mistake explains why many people eating avocados daily are absorbing almost none of the compounds that protect the retina and the aging brain. And the fix takes less than 30 seconds. Subscribe, then keep watching. Avocados are approximately 77% fat by caloric composition, an unusually high proportion for a whole food. This fat content is the mechanism behind avocados' most clinically valuable properties. It enables the absorption of fat-soluble nutrients, supports the integrity of cell membranes, and drives the monounsaturated fatty acid effects on cardiovascular risk markers. But fat digestion requires bile secretion from the gallbladder. When the total fat load in a single meal is very high, avocado combined with eggs, cheese, bacon, nuts, or other high-fat foods, the digestive demand exceeds what aging gallbladder and biliary function can efficiently process. But fat digestion requires bile secretion from the gallbladder. The consequence is twofold. First, the excess fat is not properly emulsified and absorbed, producing the bloating, delayed gastric emptying, and post-meal discomfort that many older adults attribute to digestive sensitivity without identifying the specific cause. Second, and this is the more consequential finding, carotenoid absorption is significantly impaired. Carotenoids, including the lutein and zeaxanthin that accumulate in the retinal macula and the neural tissue of the brain, require fat for absorption. But the specific mechanism of carotenoid uptake is competitive. When the total fat content of a meal is very high, the carotenoid uptake pathways become saturated, and the dietary carotenoids pass through largely unabsorbed. Research published in the American Journal of Digestive Diseases found that pairing avocado with other high-fat foods reduced carotenoid absorption in adults over 60 by approximately 45%, nearly halving the macular protection and neurological antioxidant benefit that avocado consumption is intended to provide. The correct pairing strategy: combine avocado with lean protein and vegetables. Grilled fish or chicken with avocado and leafy greens is the combination that clinical research has most consistently associated with optimal carotenoid uptake. A study published in 2024 found that eating avocado with spinach or kale increased carotenoid absorption by 67% compared to eating the greens without added fat, because avocado's fats enhance rather than compete with plant source carotenoid uptake when the overall fat load is moderate. Avocado with tomatoes is a specifically well-studied combination. The lycopene in tomatoes becomes 4 times more bioavailable when consumed with dietary fat, making avocado and tomato pairings particularly protective for cardiovascular and prostate health in older men. Reserve the cheese, nuts, and eggs for meals without avocado, or use them in small amounts infrequently. Avocado is genuinely beneficial. It is also genuinely calorie-dense. 1 medium avocado contains approximately 320 calories and 29 grams of fat. Avocado is genuinely beneficial. It is also genuinely calorie-dense. 1 medium avocado contains approximately 320 calories and 29 grams of fat. A 2024 metabolic study following adults over 60 who consumed more than 5 to 6 avocados per week found 3 consistent outcomes: progressive weight gain over 3 months, unexpected increases in LDL cholesterol despite avocado's theoretical cholesterol-improving properties, and worsening acid reflux, a direct consequence of the elevated fat load on lower esophageal sphincter function. The apparent paradox, avocado raising LDL cholesterol despite being rich in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, resolves when the caloric surplus is considered. Excess calories, regardless of their source, drive hepatic lipogenesis and triglyceride synthesis, which in older adults with reduced metabolic flexibility can manifest as elevated LDL even from a theoretically beneficial fat source. The evidence-supported portion for adults over 60 is 1/2 to 3/4 of a medium avocado, 4 to 5 times per week, never more than once daily. This range provides approximately 160 to 240 calories per serving, sufficient to deliver the therapeutic fat-soluble nutrient absorption, the monounsaturated fat cardiovascular effects, and the muscle protein synthesis support without the metabolic overload that produces the unintended consequences documented above. Once cut, an avocado's surface undergoes rapid oxidation and becomes a favorable environment for bacterial proliferation. The enzymatic browning that occurs on the exposed flesh is a visible indicator of oxidative degradation, but the bacterial risk develops on a different and less visible timeline. A 2023 food safety study found that cut avocados left at room temperature for more than 4 hours showed significant bacterial growth, including strains capable of causing foodborne illness. For adults over 60, whose immune response to foodborne pathogens is measurably slower and less robust than that of younger adults, the clinical consequence of consuming contaminated avocado, even mildly contaminated, is more severe and prolonged than it would be in a younger person. The safe protocol for storing a cut avocado half: immediately coat the exposed flesh surface with fresh lemon or lime juice. The acidity inhibits both enzymatic browning and bacterial surface growth. Wrap the cut surface tightly in plastic wrap, minimizing air contact. Refrigerate immediately at or below 4 degrees Celsius. Consume within 24 hours. Never store a cut avocado at room temperature for more than 2 hours, regardless of lemon juice application. The temperature range between 4 and 60 degrees Celsius is the bacterial growth window. Room temperature storage falls directly within it. The bonus benefit of lemon juice application, vitamin C from the citric acid, provides an independent layer of antioxidant protection for the fat-soluble compounds in the avocado flesh, slowing their oxidative degradation during refrigerated storage and preserving a greater proportion of the nutritional content when the avocado is consumed the following day. The research supports a specific approach that maximizes the documented benefits of avocado consumption in older adults while avoiding every risk described above. Ripeness verification before every avocado. The stem cap test, gentle pressure assessment, and dark skin color are non-negotiable. A firm avocado goes into the ripening bag, not onto the plate. Portion and frequency: 1/2 to 3/4 of a medium avocado, 4 to 5 times per week, not daily, not whole avocados. This is the range the evidence supports for cardiovascular benefit and muscle preservation without caloric or metabolic overload. Timing: mid-morning, approximately 2 to 3 hours after a light breakfast, is the absorption window most supported by research in older adults. Fat-soluble nutrient uptake is most efficient when the digestive system is active but not already processing a large food volume. For anyone on blood pressure or diabetes medication, a 2-hour separation between avocado consumption and medication administration prevents interaction effects. Pairing: avocado with leafy greens, lean protein, or tomatoes, not with other high-fat foods. The fat content of avocado is the mechanism. Adding more fat to the same meal competes with rather than enhances nutrient absorption. Preparation: always raw or at room temperature, never microwaved. Cut immediately before consumption where possible. If storage is necessary, lemon juice and refrigeration within 2 hours of cutting. One additional enhancement worth noting: a pinch of black pepper added to avocado increases the bioavailability of its active compounds by approximately 23% through the action of piperine, the same mechanism by which black pepper enhances curcumin absorption from turmeric. This requires no preparation beyond what most people are already doing when seasoning food. Avocado is one of the most comprehensively studied foods in the context of aging. The cognitive, cardiovascular, muscular, and visual benefits documented in peer-reviewed research on adults over 60 are not marginal. They are clinically meaningful. They are achievable. But they are achievable only when the food is consumed in the way the research studied it, ripe in appropriate portions, paired with the foods that enhance rather than compete with its mechanisms, stored safely, and with awareness of the drug interactions that affect a significant proportion of older adults. The 5 mistakes in this video are not rare edge cases. They are the default patterns of avocado consumption that most people fall into without realizing it. Changing them requires no additional cost, no additional time, and no additional food. It requires only the knowledge of what the evidence actually shows. If this video gave you something specific you can apply at your next meal, a ripeness check, a pairing adjustment, a conversation to have with your physician about vitamin K and your current medication, then you already understand what the Eternal Vigor way is built for. Every week, this channel translates current nutritional research on aging into evidence that adults over 60 can actually use, without the oversimplification of generic health advice and without the alarm of fear-based content. Subscribe before you close this video, because next week we are covering the 5 supplements most commonly taken by adults over 60 that research identifies as either ineffective in older populations or actively interfering with medications most of them are already on. That video could save someone you love an unnecessary complication. This is the Eternal Vigor way. Eat the avocado. Eat it right.